With Donald Trump coming for Australia, Albo faces his toughest test yet. And there's one video that could come back to haunt him. Trump has announced a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminium imports to the US. Tariffs make foreign products more expensive, which Trump says will force Americans to make and buy local instead. Australia is one of the US's biggest suppliers, so a 25% hike could wipe out some of our biggest markets overnight. This could mean job losses, a hit to your super fund, and higher prices, not to mention tensions with our biggest ally. Now this brings us back to Albo. Malcolm Turnbull bagged us an exemption to Trump's tariffs back in 2018, and now the pressure's on Albanese to do the same. But one person has stayed suspiciously silent in all this, our US Ambassador Kevin Rudd. Rudd has been critical of Trump for years. Just hours after Trump's second election win, he deleted older social media posts calling Trump the most destructive president in history. Shortly after, this footage emerged of Rudd slamming Trump during a webinar back in 2021.
In the last 4 years has been run by a village idiot, competent in its national statecraft, and the United States increasingly incompetent in its national statecraft under Trump.
Trump caught wind of Rudd's comments and hit back with this.
I don't know much about him. I heard he was a little bit nasty. I hear he's not the brightest bulb.
This fueled speculation that Rudd was on the chopping block. But instead, Albo defended Rudd and kept him in his role as Australia's US ambassador.
At a time when Australians are worried about the cost of living and a range of issues that affect their daily lives, they decide to politicise Australia's representative in Washington, DC.
And now they have the awkward task of asking Trump for a special exemption. When asked directly about Rudd's ability to negotiate with Trump on these tariffs, Albo wouldn't even use Rudd's name.
How crucial is Ambassador Kevin Rudd for this, and do you have confidence he can help get this done?
Yeah, if you have a look at what we've achieved already, it's been a tremendous start to the relationship. Penny Wong being invited to the inauguration. Richard Marles sitting down with the Secretary of Defence, Pete Hegseth, just on the weekend. This is one of President Trump's first calls.
On the plus side, Trump seems to be fond of Albo. When asked about their phone call over the tariffs, he praised the PM, as well as Australia's trade relationship with the US.
I just spoke to him, very fine man, and he has a surplus. I mean, we have a surplus with Australia, one of the few. And the reason is they buy a lot of airplanes. They are rather far away and they need lots of airplanes. And we actually have a surplus. It's one of the only countries which we do. And I told him that that's something that we will give great consideration to.
But we all know Trump never forgets a slight. And with our own election looming, Albo's choice to stand by Rudd could end up being his biggest regret.